So hey guys, Matt here, Home Farm Ideas, and remember that video that I did where I planted the garlics and stuff, like the Rochambeau garlic and all that stuff? So I'm gonna do a follow-up video right now. Basically, it didn't go very good, or it didn't grow very good. So I want to kind of go over some ideas as to why it maybe didn't go good, because I'm growing them aquaponically, but I also had them in the root pouches, and the root pouches, I've used them for other plants outside of the aquaponic system and they worked fine. The only difference, and then I've grown things aquaponically, as you guys know. The only difference is that I basically grew garlic for the first time, which I've never done really before either. I've never had any success with it. And then I've never used coco coir. And so I don't know if that is the major cause as to why this didn't go very good. But I think it is the coco coir, and I'll tell you the reasons why. Well, let me show you the garlic first, okay? So I did get ladybugs here because I have tons of aphids on these things, which means they're not healthy. Because usually healthier plants, you just don't get a lot of aphids and stuff. So I'm having an aphid problem. Anyways, let me show you the garlic, and then I'll go over kind of more in depth why I think this didn't go very good. Okay, so this is one of the beds that I planted all garlic in, and then the Rochambeau is somewhere in there. I think it's right here, actually. These 3 pots that I did a video on, and I'll put a link in the thing right there. And then the elephant garlic. This is the elephant garlic, and it's bolting. So I tried to dig around into the root system and stuff to check it out, and it does have bulbs. It's just not what they should be. But as you can see, I don't have any water running in here anymore. Okay, I turned that off on both sides. Those are just a bunch of miscellaneous garlics that I had gotten as well. But basically, I mean, as you can see, I mean, look, they're just really tattered. They haven't grown much. You know, they're not like they should be, like just glorious. You know, they're not really good. These, I mean, just jeez, man. You see all the aphids? Look at this. Just millions of aphids. Billions, even. Look at that. Unhealthy plants. And that's why I'm pretty sure this happened. So a lot of the leaves have died off because I turned the water off, but basically these weren't doing good. So I turned the water off and I was just like, I'm done with it. So the root pouches, like I said, they've done really well for me in other areas of my garden, like the catnip plant that I did here recently, the video, and basically the catnip plants look really good, and constant watering with those. I think garlic is a little more finicky though, so I think that's one of the major issues that I'm having, is they don't like being wet, as far as I know. So I even had the water probably like that deep in here. And the reason why I think it's the coco coir is because it wicks water really, really good. Okay, and so what I think happened is even though I was having very small amounts of water on the bottom, with these fabric pots and the coco coir, it was just wicking water and saturating the soil, because it's just coco coir. It was saturating the coco coir. And for other plants, it might be cool. Like I was having other plants, like, mind you, I turned off the water, but my strawberries started to come in. This plant started to do well. It's still doing well. So those did well, but not anything to do with the onion family. I had chives in here, and those didn't do well either. So I think my issue here was the coco coir. It was just wicking water way too much for these garlics, and they don't like a lot of water around their roots, and so there you go. They just didn't do well. They grew, you know, because you could see in the video I planted them and they were just they weren't even popping out of the ground yet, you know, but now they are, and they grew. It's just they didn't grow as fast as I had hoped, and this is way too late in the season. I mean, it's hot out today. It's like 75 degrees, going up to 80, I think. So, so yeah, I mean, they just didn't do well. So I'm gonna close these off with a failure on this one. Not the bag's fault, not the, you know, the plant's fault. None of those things. It's the Coco Coir. And again, that's not really the Coco Coir's fault either, because these plants are just, they're not really meant for, I guess, pots like this, or Coco Coir. So, and I'll give you an example. Later on in the season, I took some of these garlics and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try them in my flood and drain system. And so I did. I put them in flood and drain system, and mind you, I did it later, way later in the season, but these are the Rochambeau as well right here, and as you could see, these are doing much better. They are late in the season now, so they're basically, I wonder if I'm having bulbs in there. I'm gonna pull this one, just for you guys. Okay, let's see. Now, see, it's too hot, I guess, but, and it's, they didn't really form bulbs either. So, but again, I took these late in the season and I put them over here. So, but as you can see, they grow a lot better in the flood and drain systems. So, planted one there. So, I even cut that one in half. So, anyways, failure. So this will be a follow-up video for those other two videos that I did for garlic, the elephant garlic and the Rochambeau. I'll try them in soil again, but this time I'm going to put soil just in the root pouches and water them, like maybe line them up against my fence or something. So all I got to do is empty these out and then put new soil on them, and I'm going to try basically that back one. That back one over there was chives. So I think I'll do a video on chives, because I love chives with like eggs and stuff. I like chives on everything basically. So what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll just take all the Coco Coir out of it, and then I'll add some soil and see how it goes with the chives and that. So anyway, sorry guys, this one didn't work out. So anyway, like always, you guys, God bless you and peace. I'm just trying to show basically successes and failures. So all right, later.